It was a crisp autumn morning in late October when Sarah Thompson, a volunteer for a local wildlife advocacy group, was on her routine perimeter check near the wooded outskirts of Willow Creek. The air was still, carrying the scent of fallen leaves and damp earth. Suddenly, a faint, distressed whimpering broke the silence. It wasn't the usual chirping of birds or the rustle of a squirrel. This sound was desperate, unmistakably that of an animal in peril. Sarah, with years of experience, knew immediately she had to investigate. Her heart sank as she followed the cries, leading her deeper into a thorny thicket, towards a sight that would change her next few months entirely. Tucked away beneath a gnarled oak, barely visible amidst the undergrowth, lay a tiny bundle of red fur. It was a fox cub, no more than 6 or 7 weeks old, its eyes wide with fear and pain. One of its hind legs was clearly twisted at an unnatural angle, and its breathing was shallow. There was no sign of its mother, or any siblings. Sarah's training immediately kicked in. Panic would do no good. This cub was injured, alone, and critically vulnerable. Its chances of survival in the wild, in this condition, were virtually non-existent. A decision had to be made, and quickly, if this young life was to have any hope. Sarah moved with practiced calm, gently approaching the terrified cub. She knew that any sudden movement could cause further injury or send the cub into shock. Speaking softly, reassuringly, she carefully wrapped the tiny fox in a blanket she always kept in her backpack for such emergencies. The cub, surprisingly, didn't struggle much, too weak and frightened to resist. Its body was alarmingly thin, and she could feel the faint tremor of its little heart beating against her palm. This was more than just a broken leg, this was a cub on the brink, desperately needing professional medical attention. Sarah immediately called Willow Creek Animal Hospital, her voice steady but urgent, explaining the situation to the receptionist. Dr. Alex Chen, the hospital's lead veterinarian, was known for his dedication to wildlife, often taking on pro bono cases for local rescue organizations. Within minutes, Sarah was on her way, the small, whimpering bundle carefully cradled on her passenger seat. The journey felt interminable, every bump in the road a potential jolt to the fragile creature. She knew that the next few hours would be critical, determining whether this little fox would even make it through the day. Upon arrival, Dr. Chen was already waiting. With gentle, experienced hands, he took the cub from Sarah. His initial assessment was grim. The cub was severely dehydrated, malnourished, and suffering from hypothermia. The leg injury was a comminuted fracture, meaning the bone was shattered in multiple places, a complex break that would require extensive surgery and a long recovery. "This little one has been out here for a while," Dr. Chen observed, his brow furrowed with concern. "We'll do everything we can, Sarah, but it's going to be a long road." That evening, after stabilizing the cub with fluids and warmth, Dr. Chen performed the delicate surgery on its tiny leg. The procedure lasted nearly 3 hours, a testament to the severity of the injury and the precision required. Sarah waited anxiously, refusing to leave the clinic. When Dr. Chen finally emerged, weary but with a faint smile, he confirmed the surgery was successful. "The fracture is repaired," he told her, "but the real work begins now. Recovery will be slow, and infection is a constant threat. But she's a fighter, Sarah. I think she wants to live." In the days that followed, the cub's resilience became clear. Despite the pain and the unfamiliar surroundings, she slowly began to show signs of improvement. Sarah, who visited daily, began calling her Ember. It was a name that evoked the warm, glowing remnants of a fire, a symbol of tiny strength and hope rekindled from near extinction. Ember, with her bright eyes and fiery red fur, seemed to embody this spirit. Her initial fear gradually gave way to a cautious curiosity, and she even began to accept gentle hand-feeding, a monumental step in her rehabilitation. The next 3 weeks were a blur of dedicated care. Sarah, along with other volunteers and Dr. Chen's team, established a strict regimen for Ember. This involved carefully changing bandages, administering antibiotics, and providing nutrient-rich, easily digestible food. Each day, Ember gained a little more strength, a little more weight. Her fractured leg, encased in a tiny cast, slowly began to heal. The challenge wasn't just physical recovery, it was also ensuring Ember didn't become too habituated to human interaction. Wild animals need to retain their natural instincts for survival. After a month, Ember's cast was finally removed. The sight of her wobbly first steps, though hesitant, brought tears to Sarah's eyes. It was a moment of pure triumph, a testament to Ember's will to live and the tireless efforts of her caregivers. Her leg was still weak, and she favored it slightly, but she was moving. She began exploring her enclosed recovery space with more confidence, her natural inquisitiveness returning. These small victories, each step forward, fueled the team's determination, reinforcing their belief that Ember could, and would, make it back to the wild. As Ember continued to heal, the focus shifted from medical treatment to rehabilitation for release. Dr. Chen and Sarah knew Ember couldn't simply be set free, she needed to regain her wild instincts. They moved her to a larger, outdoor enclosure designed to mimic a natural habitat. Here, she could practice climbing, digging, and foraging. Live prey was introduced, not for consumption initially, but to stimulate her hunting drives. Human interaction was minimized, ensuring she wouldn't associate people with food or comfort, vital for her survival in the wilderness. Just when Ember's progress seemed steady, a new challenge emerged. One morning, Sarah found Ember limping more severely than usual, her healed leg inflamed. A secondary infection had set in, a common complication with severe fractures. The team's hearts sank. This meant a return to antibiotics, strict monitoring, and a halt to her outdoor training. It was a stark reminder of the fragile balance of rehabilitation and how quickly an animal's recovery could be derailed. Doubt crept in, would Ember ever truly be strong enough for the wild? Dr. Chen adjusted Ember's medication, and the team redoubled their efforts. Days turned into another 2 weeks of intense focus, ensuring Ember's leg recovered fully from the infection. This time, they were even more cautious, gradually reintroducing her to the outdoor enclosure only after every sign of inflammation had subsided. Sarah spent hours observing Ember from a distance, noting every movement, every subtle shift in her behavior. The setback, while disheartening, only strengthened their resolve. Ember had come too far for them to give up now. Over the next month, Ember thrived in the outdoor enclosure. Her hunting instincts sharpened, she became adept at catching live rodents and insects introduced by the team. Her fractured leg, now fully healed, showed no signs of weakness. She moved with agility and grace, demonstrating the natural athleticism of a healthy fox. She began to exhibit typical fox behaviors, scent marking, caching food, and becoming wary of human presence, a crucial indicator of readiness for release. The transformation from the terrified, injured cub to a confident, almost wild fox was remarkable. Finally, after nearly 3 months of intensive care and rehabilitation, Dr. Chen and Sarah agreed Ember was ready. The decision of where to release her was critical. They chose a secluded, expansive nature preserve known for its healthy red fox population and abundant prey, far from human development. This location offered the best chance for Ember to integrate successfully into a wild fox community. It was a bittersweet moment, the culmination of so much effort, knowing that their work was about to come to its most poignant conclusion. The morning of Ember's release was cloudy but calm, mirroring the quiet anticipation of the small team present. Sarah, Dr. Chen, and a few dedicated volunteers arrived at the preserve just after dawn. They carried Ember in a secure, dark transport carrier to minimize stress. Finding a quiet spot, deep within the preserve, they gently opened the carrier door. There was a pause, a collective breath held, as Ember hesitated, peering out at her new, wild world. It was a moment charged with emotion, a blend of hope and a profound sense of letting go. With a sudden burst of courage, Ember bolted from the carrier. She paused for a fraction of a second, her head held high, sniffing the unfamiliar scents of the forest floor. Then, with a flicker of red fur, she darted into the undergrowth, disappearing as swiftly and silently as a ghost. Sarah felt a surge of elation, mixed with a pang of longing. Ember was free. She was a wild fox once more, exactly where she belonged. The forest swallowed her whole, marking the end of one chapter and the hopeful beginning of another, entirely on Ember's own terms. While direct contact was over, Ember's journey didn't end there for the team. Trail cameras were strategically placed in the preserve, offering glimpses into her new life. Footage over the next few weeks confirmed she was not only surviving but thriving. She was seen foraging, interacting with other foxes, and navigating her new territory with increasing confidence. These rare sightings provided immense comfort and satisfaction to Sarah and Dr. Chen, validating every sleepless night and every painstaking effort. Ember was a success story, a testament to the power of dedicated rescue and rehabilitation. For Sarah Thompson, Ember's rescue was more than just another case, it solidified her life's mission. The bond formed over those 3 months, the profound sense of responsibility, and the ultimate triumph of Ember's freedom, reinforced her belief in the importance of every single life. She continues her work with the Wildlife Advocacy Group, her passion ignited anew by Ember's resilience. The challenges are endless, the resources often scarce, but stories like Ember's serve as a powerful reminder of why they do what they do, day in and day out. Ember's story is a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between the wild world and our own. It underscores the critical role that wildlife rescuers, veterinarians, and compassionate individuals play in protecting vulnerable species. Every year, countless animals face similar predicaments, injured or displaced by human activity. Their survival often hinges on the swift, informed actions of those willing to step in. It is a call to action, an invitation to support local wildlife organizations, to educate ourselves, and to remember that every small effort can contribute to a profound difference in a wild creature's life.